poppin', y'all? It is your boy, Guard E3, and welcome to Coffee and Sports, the morning show. We got a full house tonight, of course. Joining us, just like every morning, he is the pillar of Coffee and Sports. He is Mo Betta. How you doing, Mo?
Hey, what's good, Brett? What's going on, chat? Morning.
And of course, joining us, just like he is on most Tuesdays, he is Will Morgan.
What's
How
up?
you
What's
doing,
up?
sir?
How y'all doing today?
It's good, Will.
And of course, he is the man that makes everything work. The CEO of Wire to Wire. He is the NFL genius, Gene Walzak.
What's popping, bro? How y'all feeling today? Ready to talk
good,
some
man.
sports. Ready to talk some, obviously quarterback comparisons from last night's game. Who's the better quarterback? Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes? We'll ask you guys today.
I'm finna call you the master troller. That's what I'm finna call you, the master troller, because you were getting on 7 last night.
Listen, look, seven gets one, right? After that, I let it go. But when you troll my team from losing, your team better not lose that same week.
No, fair enough. I feel like it is a fun question to start out with, though, because obviously last night we saw the Chiefs, we saw the Jaguars, and it almost felt like it was a great statement for Trevor Lawrence. He had some really great moments. Do you guys think that was the Trevor Lawrence coming out party? Do you think this is maybe the turning point he needed to be an elite quarterback we know he can be, or was it just a really good moment for him? Mo, what do you think?
I think it was a really good moment. The Jags are 4-1, so they're a winning football team as of right now. But Trevor Lawrence could turn around next week and not have a good moment. Like, his biggest moment wasn't a design play, was a broken play. And he admitted himself he got up and ran out of panic because they didn't have any timeouts, which is common sense. So, look, I give the guy a lot of credit. I don't think anyone's ever questioned, was he talented? They just questioned, could you put it all together on a consistent basis? And you can make the case maybe this could ignite that. He has had some success, but I don't know. I feel like players like Justin Herbert or quarterbacks like Justin Herbert or quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, they get a lot of grace. So I'll give him credit that they're a winning team right now, but it doesn't change how I see him in the bigger picture. I think he's a freakishly talented quarterback, but I still think he's just a good quarterback. I don't think he's special. Like, for all his athleticism, what drives me crazy about him is he's reluctant to use his athleticism. Like, even a washed-up Russell Wilson has more rushing yards than Trevor Lawrence. He just is reluctant to use his wheels. And if he did that more often, I think he'd have a bigger impact on games. But I'm going to give the Jags credit for getting the win.
Oh, fair enough. Of course, Gene, you had some great insight on this one. What do you think? Is this the Trevor Lawrence coming out party, or
Trevor Lawrence will go as far as his decision making will allow him to go. This is me and Mo agree on some things. Me and Mo disagree on some things. I agree that he is not, like generational right now. And I agree that the way he's played football so far in his NFL career has not been elite, right? But the one thing I think we'll disagree, I don't know if he agrees or disagrees with me when I say this, but he is elite talent, right? His arm talent is insane.
I agree.
And I'll disagree with this too. You said his best moment was a broken play. I disagree. His best moment was 3rd and 15, dropping the bucket to Brian Thomas Jr. over the shoulder in a perfect pitch and catch scenario to get them to where they were. His best moment in that football game was that throw down the sideline to Brian Thomas Jr. You could not walk down there and hand it to him. That was the biggest throw of the game. Then they got the PI, and they still had 40 seconds left in the game. Even if he did not score the touchdown there, they would have been up. I don't think that broken play would, again, I guess game-winning play, but the throw to Brian Thomas Jr. down the sideline was insane. His 2 turnovers yesterday, I understood both of them. One was 100% of a blown call. The Kansas City Chiefs tackled the receiver. They came back from break and they're like, wow, I can't believe this wasn't called. It was obviously a slant route where the receiver was supposed to jump, and he got knocked down by the Kansas City defender to no call, which was wild. And the other one was fourth down. You call QB sneak on fourth down. You're not going to – you can't get stopped there. And he went to jump over the pile, and the ball got punched out. Those turnovers I can live with. The turnovers I cannot live with are the turnover-worthy plays he had versus the San Francisco 49ers. He makes poor decisions. His arm talent is incredible. All I ask you to do is look at the out route he threw to the backup tight end late in the game. Brenton Strange got hurt. And how perfect that pass was. Look at the first touchdown pass he threw to Parker Washington. How perfect. It was a terrible route run, and how perfect that pass was. Look at the ball in which he hit De'Ami Brown directly on the 5, and he dropped it in the end zone. Those are things that can't happen, but coaching will continuously help him make better decisions, hopefully. He cannot be Carson Wentz, right? He has to get past the poor decision-making. Last night, though, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Is he better than Patrick Mahomes? No, I'm obviously trolling. But last night, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. No doubt about it.
Morning, Keith. So, what did you think of Trevor Lawrence last night, Will?
I'm not going to. Yeah, he's a good quarterback, but let's not forget he was put in that position by Kansas City's mistakes on special teams. They got the ball at the 40. I mean, granted, that was a great throw that you just talked about, the Brian Thomas Jr., who held on to it. He's had a lot of drops this season.
Yes.
And they were able to go down there and do their thing. But none of this happened. They don't win that game if it wasn't for the special team mistakes of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not ready to put the Jaguars on that tier yet. I'm not ready to put him on that tier yet. Great arm talent, that's fine. But the decision-making has to come into play before we can anoint somebody to be great. And until that decision-making gets better, I'm not going to put him anywhere near the top.
This is where the rubber meets the road between me and Mo. I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the AFC South. He's got the Indianapolis Colts. I trust Trevor Lawrence more than you should trust Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can make that case, but I trust Jonathan Taylor more than ATN. You know what I mean? I trust the Colts offensive line more than the Jaguars offensive line. I don't see how Jacksonville can win that football game because they don't get up a lot of explosive plays offensively. They just don't. Indianapolis seems to get multiple explosive plays every game. So I get it. Trevor Lawrence more talented than Danny Dimes, although, I don't know, they're kind of similar in the sense that they're both really good athletes. I would say Danny Dimes is a better thrower of the football than most people think, not on Trevor Lawrence's level. But again, we're talking about talent, not how your career has played out or how you've applied your talent. Jeff George was an elite arm talent. Jay Cutler was an elite arm talent. But we see how their careers went. So you can have an elite talent and still not be a great quarterback.
You're right, but those guys were both assholes. Trevor Lawrence isn't an asshole. He's a poor decision maker. Jay Cutler was an asshole. I mean, we all knew Jay Cutler was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence just lets his talent overwhelm his brain, and that's what bothers me. Oh, I can force this throw 150 miles an hour in between two hands. Once he gets out of that and lets the offense, Trevor Lawrence would benefit so much from having a guy like Kyle Shanahan yell in his face and be like, that's not where you throw the ball. Liam Cohen seems to be the guy that's starting to get through to him of how the football needs to be thrown. I was critical of the Liam Cohen hire. I would have 100% went a different direction there, but it's working out.
And that's a good point because a lot of times your greatness might be the reason for that bad decision making. Because of my greatness, I can do this. Because of my greatness, I can do that. But in reality, you shouldn't be. So that's a good point.
I mean, the way him it's funny because I really look at it with Patrick Mahomes the same way. The way they can throw the ball on a dime 35 yards downfield is insane. The difference is Patrick does it on calculated risks in times that matter. Trevor does it because he feels like it. And that's a problem. You have to calculate those risks, in my opinion.
Say absolutely, and even on that last drive, there were a couple times where I was like, "Trevor, what are you doing?" And then he made that throw to Thomas, and then that deep out route, like I think it was maybe to Diami Brown. I was like, "Oh, that's why you're the number one pick."
I mean,
that-
he deserves credit. That's a great throw, right? But we all watched the same football game, right? He did throw 2 picks. It's just that the Chiefs dropped the 2 picks. Like he that's what he does. He threw multiple picks that just didn't get caught. So I want to give him credit for the win, but it wasn't a clean game. There were a couple. I don't know the exact quarter it happened in, but he threw a couple of picks that they just dropped. I want to give him credit for the win, but I don't know if that game was about him or more about the Chiefs defense blowing tackles. Like that might be one of the worst football games I've seen the Chiefs play in terms of tackling. Like they're normally a really good tackling football team. They were awful last night.
So I think the one play you're talking about the pick was a ball. And this is another one of those things that, like, I feel like the all 22 would help a ton of people out. And I know that, I know you watch it. I get it. But a ball hits a receiver in the chest, pops up in the air, and 2 Chiefs defenders fight over it, which would have been ruled a pick if they caught the ball. When it goes off a receiver's hands or chest, I'm not making that a turnover-worthy play. The same way I criticized Trevor Lawrence for a play that wasn't considered an interception because the penalty called it back, is I will 100% take that away from him when it hits a receiver in the hands, bounces off their shoulder pad, and 2 Kansas City Chiefs defenders run into each other, catching the football and knock it to the ground. Yes, that should have been an interception, but that interception to me doesn't go on the quarterback because you hit the receiver around the shoulder pad. Just like Patrick Mahomes, situation across the middle. Hollywood Brown's got to be on a milk carton today. Patrick Mahomes hit him on the shoulder pad, and he wasn't looking for the football. I'm like, what are we doing? That play could have been huge. That play, Mahomes hits him right on the shoulder pad. If he catches that ball, turns it upfield, they're like the 40-yard line with an opportunity for one more play to get in field goal range. But this moron gets hit right on the shoulder. He's not looking for the football. I think that matters.
I just want to say one more thing on this game from a fantasy perspective. Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns last night. Memory recalls. I just want to say thank you for helping absolutely nobody, particularly me. So thank you for absolutely nothing.
Can I show y'all something really quick?
Absolutely.
The last play of the game, Chris Jones might be my you got to be kidding me this week.
Oh, I
Did
know
y'all
what play
see
you
this
talking
yet?
about.
Oh, I saw it.
I know what play you
last play
talking
of the
about.
game.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is watch Chris Jones on this play. Chris Jones is right here. You'll see him right here. Come on. Watch this play.
Imagine the panic that is in his heart and the way his stomach has fell
Number
into
95.
his butt. Now, this is what
Trevor
you're going to
Lawrence
see.
is on the ground.
You're going to get a huge block. That's a pancake block on the left tackle. And so when Trevor Lawrence gets up, he's going to have an opportunity to escape here and get into the end zone. He also has to break a tackle. Now, what's funny is that you watch this play continue, he falls again. So imagine the panic of the second fall. He gets breaks the tackle.
Craziness.
That is absolutely
Craziness.
wild for Chris Jones to just stand there on what was the biggest play of the game. He gave up on it. The funniest part to me is the right arm pointing. He's going there. Go get him. Well, that was your job, Chris. You didn't move.
Say, Chiefs fans defending that were pretty wild. They're like, oh, you're just letting him score so they'd have a chance. So, like, I don't think you're just letting him score on that one.
That's not going to look good in film study. That's
No.
not gonna look good.
And I will hear from Ando in 7 later. I know I will.
Yeah, that just wasn't a good effort there by Chris Jones. It wasn't any effort by Chris
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah.
He quit on the play.
He ain't
Like
nothing.
he picked the biggest play of the game to take a play off, which to me is just the most absurd thing you could do in that situation, honestly.
Just wanted to show that. Wanted to highlight that. I thought that was one of those things that just needed to be talked about. Travis Hunter made a hell of a catch last night. I think they need to get him way more involved in the passing game. He looked really good. Devin Lloyd, got to give him all the credit in the world. 100-yard interception, pick six. And then what Will said, the special teams of the Jaguars were much better than the special teams of the Chiefs last night in multiple ways.
Mm-hmm. Now, Gene, let me ask you this: would you continue to use Travis Hunter more as a receiver and just put him on certain defensive sets, or would you still have him play an equal amount of both, equal snaps of both?
I think he needs an equal amount of snaps on both. I honestly would rev him up to listen. You can draft him number 2 to be a part-time cornerback and a number 3 wide receiver. That's not why you draft him number 2. You drafted him number 2 because he fills not one but 2 needs on your football team. That's a problem, right? They've not used him enough. Go all in and make him the best corner in football, or let him be a top rookie wide receiver. But if I'm asking you a question today, Will, who's a more impactful rookie so far this year? Is it Ted McMillan or Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter.
I think it's Ted McMillan.
Really?
So far this year? I think that Travis should be, but Ted's been awesome. I'm going to ask you an easier question. Who's a more impactful rookie, Travis Hunter or Emeka Egbuka?
Oh, Emeka Egbuka, no question. No question.
And that's what I mean when I say
no
he
question.
Shouldn't be the 3rd, 4th, or 5th best receiver in this class and be a cornerback that's only on the field 50% of the snaps.
Right.
You took him at 2.
But do you think Egbuka would be in this spot right now if Mike Evans didn't go down?
Mike Evans played the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah.
He's still putting up ridiculous numbers.
You think?
Egbuka is a slot receiver. And being in the slot helps out a ton. What I thought was more of a question was Chris Godwin's played his entire career in the slot. I didn't know how they were going to handle when Chris Godwin came back. He's still putting up really ridiculous numbers with Chris Godwin back. Brian Hartline needs to get a job somewhere as a head coach. You look at the situation in Ohio State and what he's done with the class of wide receivers that he's had. I mean, it goes on and on and on, all the way back to Slant Boy with Michael Thomas, all the way up to Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, Emeka Egbuka. They have a plethora of what next year. Oh man, better watch out. Jeremiah Smith is that guy. And then Marv, we'll see if Marv picks it up.
Yeah. Oh, good point, Key.
I mean, I kind of agree with Key. Obviously, because he might not play enough.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Yeah, when it comes to Ted McMillan or Travis Hunter, I think it's Ted pretty easily. I agree with Gene on that one though. You didn't draft Travis Hunter to be your wide receiver 3 and your cornerback number 4. Like,
correct.
If you want to use him to his full potential, you really just got to start using him as. I think you just got to, at least if you're not going to use him as both consistently, let him do one, at least at a high level. Let him be a wide receiver 2, at least behind Brian Thomas, or let him be a cornerback 1. So. It's weird. Like, it just doesn't feel like they're using him enough quite yet. I don't know if they're ramping it up and they're going to use him more later, but it just seems like he should be getting a lot more, snaps and reps than he is now.
Agreed.
He's an amazing athlete. I'll say that.
Now, yesterday we didn't get a chance to go over this, and William Morgan's only on the show Monday, Tuesday, and I feel like it's only right. Will's had a tough sports year. Be very quick when I say it. If you don't know, Will is a Chicago Bulls fan who are the definition of purgatory in the NBA.
Pretty much
making the wild card round, the play-in game, and they stink. He's a New York Mets fan who had one of the worst collapses in baseball this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a New Orleans Saints fan who some people predicted not to win a football game. This past Sunday, my man William Morgan had an opportunity to celebrate. And I wanted to give him the floor to talk about his New Orleans Saints, handing it to Jackson Dart, Cam Scatteraboo, and Brian Dable should be renting a la Mo and the New York Giants. Well, what did you think of your team Sunday? I got to give you the floor, bro.
Anytime your defense can create 5 turnovers, you should be able to win that football game. And that's exactly what we did. We went in there and played a very good football game. We saw Shaheed go down and do his thing for that 1 touchdown. For once, Rattler didn't look that bad. He looked competent out there, and played well. So Chat Sports says something. The Saints are back. No, the Saints are back. This is just a good game. Just go ahead and get a terrific game. Probably going to be the only win we get this year from what I see on the schedule. And just be happy you got it and move on. Winning hides a lot, but the problems are still there, and they need to address those before they can be a successful football team. But shout out to him. Kellen Moore got his first win. Rattler got the first win. Take this momentum and see what you can do with it.
I got 2 things on this game. I got to watch the All-22 yesterday after the Phillies game. Well, I don't want to get into it, but 2 things from this game. Number 1, I got Kool-Aid McKinstry balled out of his mind. Love some Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama University. And number 2, you know what surprised me the most in that football game, Will?
What's that?
Your offensive line isn't that good. But they played out of their goddamn minds. Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. You have all those guys that can get after the quarterback and not 1 sack.
And that's the part that's so frustrating, Gene, is the fact how many first-round picks we got on that offensive line and we're still that bad. That's the point that just discourages me. But they played well. They didn't give up a sack. And again, Rattler played well. So I can't really complain about Rattler this week. Really can't.
Yeah, they definitely, the Giants defense did not get after the quarterback, and the Saints defense caused multiple turnovers. Jackson Dart fumbled. He threw 2 interceptions. Cam Scatteraboo with an uncharacteristic fumble and then blaming everybody else on the field he's a psychopath. Did you see the video of him like tackling?
Yeah.
He's an absolute psychopath. That guy's got CTE already.
You got something going on with him, that's for sure.
I got a chance to watch that game because we played the Giants this week. So trying to do a little bit of film study. Yesterday was a tough day for me, so I didn't get a chance to do as much as I'd like. But I got a chance to watch that game, and it's very obvious that the Giants' defensive line, who should be much better, did not get as much pressure as they should.
Nope.
Well, your Saints needs you need some more youth, some younger legs. You guys should trade. Go ahead and trade Alvin Kamara. He's a little bit older. You can trade him to the Niners from Brian Robertson. He's younger. Just get younger, get better.
The thing about Brian, right? He can't do nothing but run a straight line. But I get your point. Kamara is getting up there.
No, I'm saying it. I'm just being silly because obviously Alvin Kamara's skill set is very similar to C-Max. I'm being selfish. Like even though they're both older, I think if you could be able to switch the 2 of them out, if you have that luxury, I'm just messing around.
But my thing is with the Saints as a whole, you got a lot of older talent on that team that this needs. I don't know if you're just gonna let them ride out to the sunset because of loyalty. Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, middle 30s. I don't know if you just let them stay to ride out the sunset out of team loyalty, but man, older dudes, and they do need to get younger on the defensive side for sure. Danny Stutzman needs to play more.
Did you guys see that? And I kind of we didn't get a chance to bring this up yesterday, but did you guys see the report with Mark Sanchez and the felony? This is insane. And I just want to bring this up real quick. The story is wild. Mark Sanchez was intoxicated, fighting with a 69-year-old man over a parking spot, attacked the guy, brutaled the guy, and the guy stabbed him. And then Sanchez is on video bleeding out, walking down the street. He goes to the hospital, You're like, oh my God, Mark Sanchez, former NFL quarterback. Mark Sanchez was stabbed before he was released from the hospital. He was charged in an attempt of self-defense to 69-year-old man who basically got his ass beat by Mark Sanchez, who's 38 years old, by the way, over a parking space.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
He stabbed him in self-defense, and now Mark Sanchez is going to go to jail.
That's just ridiculous.
That's a crazy story. But I'm not making light of it. What's an almost 70-year-old man doing walking around with a blade? I'm just saying, like you just have a blade handy on you. Like what neighborhood?
70-year-old truck driver, Mo. He's a truck driver.
Oh, well, you know what? Truck driver, that's different because you're on the road a lot. You never know.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to come up against.
I get that. I know one thing. You don't expect to come up against a former NFL player attacking you. You could never bank on that.
He said GTA.
In real life.
In real life.
That is GTA.
I was
love
bored at it, and I just kind of wanted you guys' take on it.
That's crazy.
Wasn't he doing commentary for somebody?
Fox.
I thought so.
It's just so weird that he did that, though. And like, why did he feel the need to go play parking checker at like 12:30 at night? Dude, you're at a hotel. It's not like he pulled up behind his house. So
Right.
That is just a weird thing for Mark to do.
That's wild.
And it was a stupid thing for Mark to do because guess what? Now I'm assuming you're just probably going to get fired from your Fox contract. So you're just losing out on. You just cost yourself a ton of money, and for what? To assault a 70-year-old man? It's an unfortunate situation all the way around. But Mark Sanchez is just an idiot for doing that one.
Oh yeah.
Right. Do you want to go into the decision part 2?
Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. I know Mo really wants to do this one. It's time. Today we got the decision part 2 with LeBron James at noon today.
Sure.
There's rumors that it could be his retirement. It could be an Amazon ad. We don't know what is going to happen. So I figure we can save the best for last. So, Mo, we're going to get to you last on this one. Will, what do you think the decision part 2 is going to be?
Oh, I think it's retiring. I can't see what else is going to be that's going to cause this much of an impact. So I think between his age and everything that's going down with the Lakers not re-signing him, I think he retires.
I think he announces his last season. So I think it's a retirement, but I don't think he's going to retire today. I think he's going to say this will be my last season, so he can get his full farewell tour. He can get a ton of attention and acknowledgement and gifts from all these franchises. His last game in Cleveland, and I get it. He says it's an Amazon deal, and I don't disagree with you. I think Amazon will present it. I think he'll announce a huge deal with him and Amazon. But I also think in that he will steal the moment and announce that this will be his last season in the NBA. So he can. There's no way LeBron James is going out without a retirement tour. The guy that 100% wants the spotlight more than anyone is going to 100% go out with that Kobe Bryant, like trying to follow what Kobe Bryant did and get that farewell tour.
Man, if he is announcing his retirement, I'm assuming that they must have Shams like locked in a basement somewhere so he cannot leak this whatsoever. So I'm curious, and I'm excited to see what it is. It really feels like he's going to mention something about his upcoming retirement because it's coming soon. But Mo, this is obviously this would impact your team. You got LeBron, the decision part 2. What do you think, Mo?
I think this guy can't get enough attention. That's what I think. I think he tries to come off as humble, but he's a humble attention whore. I just think he can't get enough attention. And I get it. All-time great players deserve that retirement tour, and there's just something the way he goes about things that's just so not genuine. It drives me crazy. It does. And I have to separate the fact that he's not genuine to how great a player he's been. And it annoys me. It annoys me. So I actually won't be watching it because he annoys me. So when it happens, it happens. He can't retire soon enough for me. Or he didn't have to retire. Just leave my Lakers.
I love that. Mo, I love you so much. Did you see that the tweet drove ticket sales to their final game? It's like $581, the cheapest seat to get in the house now for their final home regular season game.
That's probably nosebleed. That's crazy.
$581 a ticket to get in the house for LeBron James's potential final game. Can you imagine you buy that ticket for like $500 and then he's like, yeah, it's Amazon Prime Day. Look, like that would suck. Like,
my thing is this: if he does retire, what do you do with Bronny?
I mean, listen,
he's retiring too.
I'll answer this for Mo. The season after LeBron retires, Bronny will be added to a trade package that sends him out of Los Angeles. It'll be like a throw-in on a trade. It'll be like, Rui Hachimura and Bronny James for like an upgrade at the 2 position.
I can see that. I can really see that too. Gene's right.
Oh no, fair enough. That it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what it is. I probably won't tune into it, but I'll just kind of wait till after because
I'm off today, so I'll check it out.
I'm off today too, but kind of like Mosin though. He's so corny in the way he goes about things that I just really don't want to watch it that bad. Like, I'm sure I'll hear all about it. Maybe I'll tune in, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do so.
I may jump on and play some Marvel Rivals.
I'm going to stay 3 more years so I can play with Bryce and Bronny.
I think he's more likely to announce that. Honestly, that would not shock me.
Oh, 3 more years in LA, Mo. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds so enthusiastic.
Turn into the James family team. It's like that softball team you play on Sunday afternoon. It's the family team where they're all like, you got the dad, the couple kids, the brother-in-law.
Right.
Couple of third cousins.
Lakers.
Couple of third cousins. Couple of third cousins on the team.
That's wild.
Say Luka, Bryce, Bronny, like what better starting lineup could you ask for? DeAndre Ayton?
I honestly, I said this before, I'll say it again. I really like the Lakers this year. The first year, I've said this in a long time. I think that DeAndre Ayton and listen, I'm not a DeAndre Ayton fan. I'm not. But I think what the Lakers did this offseason was they brought in a couple of things that I think will absolutely help them out. Marcus Smart's one of them. DeAndre Ayton's another. I think that the way they're positioned, if they can they can let Luka run the show for the majority of the season and keep LeBron healthy, I think it could be a serious run. My problem is during the West, and that West has gotten so much better, and it's going to be a little bit of a tougher climb for them to compete with. It's also going to be interesting to see what Houston does, because I'm still disenfranchised with the Rockets. I got to see it to believe it. Everybody keeps telling me the Rockets going to win. I got to see it.
I think the Lakers made 2 really low risk, high reward moves. And if they pay off, I think they could potentially set themselves up for a deep playoff run. But if you really look at their roster construction, I still think they lack depth. I still think that they're still one of the least athletic teams in the NBA. And I think that's a problem for them, especially at the wing. So I don't doubt they're a playoff team. I still don't see them as title contenders. If you go on talent, they should have beat the Wolves last year on talent. And the Wolves basically manhandled them. Even with a talent advantage, they manhandled them. So I'm not going to go crazy and go on paper what they should do. I'm going to go on what I think they'll do when you look at their roster construction. I think they make the playoffs. I don't look at them as a title contender.
Yeah. when he retires, he will hold a marathon showing his own highlights to make everyone wait hours.
No, I not only will he show that marathon, he'll show that marathon juxtaposed to Michael Jordan highlights and how he did it better.
I did it better than Jordan.
All right, so Brett, do you want to talk about Major League Baseball, the wild card situation, or sorry, divisional round?
Hey, you know what? Look, I'd love to because we have obviously the divisional rounds going on, and of course my Brewers are balling, so I love to see it. They're up 2-0 on the Cubs. Obviously on the other side we have in the NLDS, we have the Dodgers up 2-0 right now on the Phillies. So
Not say anything.
I was rooting for the Phillies too. Come on, yo.
So the Brewers game last night was the first time in postseason history where two teams in the first inning hit 3-run homers. I feel like that should have been done before. Like I feel like that's a crazy for that to be the first time ever. But the Cubs come out, hit a 3-run homer, get an early 3-0 lead, and the Brewers respond right back and absolutely. And I'll tell you right now, it broke their back. It was so obvious that when Vaughn hit that 3-run homer for Milwaukee, and Contreras to give them the lead, and then Jackson Chourio, who is making himself a lot of money this postseason. You know, Jackson Chourio's batting .714 so far in the first couple games of his postseason career. He hit a 3-run bomb. The Brewers just seem like too much for the Cubs. Now the Cubs have to win 3 straight. Granted, they are going home, unlike another team that's down 0-2. But the Brewers really look good. MLB's best team record-wise. Looks like they're cruising into the next round. Jacob Mizorowski, their young prospect, came in, gave them 3 innings of 0-run, 1-hit ball. That's their number one prospect pitcher. I know you're a Brewers fan, Brett, but I'm not sure how much of the game you caught last night. I know you were messaging about it. But, man, Yelich, Vaughn, Contreras, and Chourio, that's not the 4 that you would think would be lighting up this postseason, but they're absolutely handling business.
I think one of my favorite parts from the game last night was when Chourio hit that 3-run home run to really put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
The funniest part, though, to me was Pete Crow Armstrong just running up to the wall and jumping like he was going to catch it. Even though that thing was like 30 feet over his head, that just looked really funny to me.
He tried so hard, bro. He ran up to the wall. He ran into the wall. He like fell down. If you didn't see it, it's worth a watch. Pete Crow Armstrong like basically runs into the wall, tracking a ball that's 30 feet over the fence.
I was just kind of watching it like, dude, why are you going to hurt yourself? Like, that's just clearly long gone. It was so weird, but yeah, no, I'm rooting for that Brewers World Series run. That would be fantastic for them. I know my granny's been a season ticket holder for forever, so I would love it. Do it for Granny. I would absolutely love to see it.
I like that.
I have some thoughts on the Phillies Dodgers, but it's more on the Phillies. Obviously, I'm a Phillies fan. I posted them yesterday on my Facebook, and I want to read them out loud to you guys. And I would love your opinions. And what I need you guys to help me out, right? I need my friends here on this show to talk me off the ledge as I read this. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all help me with this?
Yep.
All right. I swear, if I had $1 for every time the Phillies bats went missing in October, I could afford to buy them all new ones and maybe a therapist. Because once again, the same story is playing out like a bad sequel no one asked for. The calendar flips to the postseason, and suddenly our lineup looks like it's sponsored by Ambien. I've been saying it all year. The team is streaky. When they're hot, they could outscore the Avengers. When they're cold, they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. And guess what version showed up in Red October baseball? The one that treats runners in scoring position like a moral dilemma. You'd think by now we'd learn that vibes alone don't hit fastballs. All season long, the home run celebrations, the music, the "we're built for this" quotes, Then, boom, October rolls around and everybody's suddenly auditioning for Frozen. Do you want to play? Do you want to put the ball in play? No, cool, me neither. Meanwhile, the pitchers are out here fighting for their lives, trying to win games 1-0. By the way, I wrote this after Jesus Luzardo came out of the game. They scored 1 run to make it 1-0. Meanwhile, the pitchers are out here fighting for their lives, trying to win 1-0 games while the offense is busy practicing warning track power. It's like watching a Ferrari rev its engine in the driveway, but refuse to leave the garage. And I get it. It's baseball. It happens. But it's hard not to feel like the Phillies make it a personality trait. Every year we buy into the hype. Every year, come playoff time, we get a master class on how to leave men on base. So, yeah, I called it. I've been calling it because deep down, we all knew it was coming. It's the most predictable heartbreak in sports right now. Right up there next to Dallas fans saying this is our year. I'll still watch. I'll still yell at the TV. I'll still convince myself that maybe, just maybe, this next inning will be the one. And guess what, guys? As I was watching this, the 9th inning felt like it was going to be the one. But until then, I'm officially filing a missing persons report for the Phillies bats. If found, please return them to Citizens Bank Park before the season ends. I'm over it. Red October has become a sea of fans leaving the bank disappointed.
He said they break our heart every year.
It's really unfortunate, but that's just kind of how it feels. Like this is a Philly team that's been running, just hot or cold every year, or not every year, but just like all year. I meant, and unfortunately, that they went cold right at the worst time possible. So it's really unfortunate with the Phillies, and they still have a chance, but obviously winning 3 straight against the Dodgers is a really uphill battle. So I said, I hope they're able to turn it around because I'm still rooting for them over the Dodgers. But man.
But Gene, can you imagine if the bats come alive? I mean, this could be
3 straight, and 2 of them being in LA.
But well, you said talk you off a ledge, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Can you imagine if they do pull this off? This is like rites of passage. So right now you're frustrated, and I get that being a Mets fan. But if those bats do come alive and they pull this off, how's that going to make you feel?
You know what the Phillies are going to do, Will?
What are they going to do?
They're going to go win 2 games in LA.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come back Saturday and break my heart again. They're going to get me to buy just because that would be the heartbreak that I need even more. That's what that would be. They're going to go figure out a way to win 2 games in LA, and then game 5, they'll come back and lose again. But I do want to address this. This is wrong. Key, I love you. You're wrong. Okay? Absolutely wrong. I hate when people say this. Rob was wrong for having Stott bunt. No, he wasn't. The Phillies were down 4-0. They made it 4-3, and Nick Castellanos, which, by the way, was one of the dumbest base running moves ever, trying to stretch a single into a double, got lucky as hell he wasn't out, because if he's out, that is just gut-wrenching, right? Gets to second base. The move there immediately is to pinch run, tying run, and let Weston Wilson run for Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos runs slower than me, Brett, Mo, and Will. I said Will last because I think Will's probably fast. But the point being is, you pinch run Weston Wilson in that scenario. Then I'll take it a step further. Immediately, when you see Mookie Betts take off the third, you know they're running the wheel. What the wheel is the shortstop covers third, the second base covers first. So if you see the shortstop covering third, if you're Nick Castellanos, you can just stop in the middle of the base path and run back to second because no one's covering second. So when a baseball team runs the wheel, what they're doing is their first base and their third base are charging the ball. Both of them are charging the ball, which means the second baseman and the third baseman are covering the bags of first and third. That leaves no one covering second base. What the Phillies needed to do in that scenario was, 1, pinch run Weston Wilson, and then 2, They needed to see if they ran the wheel, just turn around, run back to second base. And you have first and second. Because what happens next is even more maddening. They get the tying run thrown out at third. You never listen. I'm not sure how big of baseball fans you guys are, but you can finish this sentence for me. You never make the first or third out at third base.
Please.
Never. That is awful baseball. So when you have nobody out and you're bunting to move the tying run in the scoring position, and yes, you do it with nobody out, because if you do it with one out and it gives you your second out, a sac fly doesn't score the run. So it was 100% the move to drop the bunt there. What it wasn't the move was to have cement feet Castellanos running from second to third, and then when you see the wheel, turn around and go back. That's the problem with baseball. You get outmanaged in scenarios, and I never thought going in this season, into the series, that the reason we would lose this series is because Dave Roberts, who's a notorious choker, has outmanaged Rob Thompson. That's where the Phillies are losing this series. You bring David Robertson, you get so lucky. He gets out of the inning. The Phillies are up 3-2 in game one. You bring David Robertson in to get the third out. He walks a guy. He gets a line drive shot, and we end up getting out of the inning. And then you bring him back into the game to pitch against 8-9, and he walks the 8-hitter, and he allows a single to the 9-hitter, and then you go, Strom, I need you to get me out of this first and second with nobody out jam versus Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and Teoscar Hernandez. That's an impossible thing to do, and he almost did it. It is maddening watching this team play baseball because I, sitting at my home on my couch, could manage that team better. And it's like, I don't want to make this political, but when I watch Donald Trump speak, I go, I could do that. He sounds like a moron. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, but when I hear that person speak, I'm at home on my couch saying I could do that. And when I watch Rob Thompson manage baseball, I sit at home on my couch being like, well, I could do that. He's an idiot. And I can predict these things before they happen. And it sucks that I can do that. I've done it all year. I needed that rant. I needed to get that out of my chest.
There you go.
I will say this. I will warn you. The Phillies will go into LA, win both games, and then go home and break my heart again. I'll get bought back in, and I'll break my heart again in game 5. So when that happens, if the Phillies find a way to win 2 games in LA, and I'm excited about game 5 in the bank, I want you to remind me of this conversation.
Well, we'll make sure to record it and play it back for you right before game 5 starts. Don't you worry about it.
Clip it. Clip it. Clip it and stream, yo.
Say, and of course, looks like the Yankees might be going home early, down 2-0, fighting for their lives today. And maybe
Get them brooms, boy.
The most real series so far with the Mariners and Tigers tied at 1-1. So got a lot of great baseball today. So if you're a baseball fan, it's going to be a great day for you. I
8 o'clock tonight, Yankees. Sorry, who just went?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
8 o'clock tonight, Yankees, Blue Jays. I think this is a wild thing. You got Carlos Rodon pitching for the Yankees, but the part that stands out to me is 2 years ago's darling from the Guardians, Shane, I'm a believer, Shane Bieber is pitching against the Yankees today. Hang on, guys.
Get the brooms ready, baby. Get them ready.
I will. I was going to ask real quick. There's one more like NFL game that it almost slipped my mind, but I wanted to ask you guys about. What even happened with that Titans and Cardinals game?
We talked about that yesterday.
That was the weirdest game maybe that I have ever seen.
Look, I get you can't cut DeMar Carmo. I get it. I understand you can't cut him, but man, I got old boy. I understand old boy's frustration. You should never touch a player. You should never hit a player on the sidelines, but I get the frustration. And you didn't learn from the week before with the Colts. The same thing happened the week before with the Colts. Come on, man. You gotta be better.
I think the coach has got to be better in that situation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Getting in his face, he made a bonehead play, but you know that he knew he made a bonehead play, and he's over there on the sideline, and the dude is crushed, and he's got a teammate trying to console him. The coach runs over there and confronts him. Puts his hands. I think that's some Woody Hayes type stuff. You got to calm down. In that moment, you're the leader of the team. He's already getting reamed out. Like, you got to go another way. You got to go another way with your leadership approach, or don't even approach him at all.
Coach
that was just a bad moment for the coach.
Coach should never touch a player.
Right.
Coach should never touch a player. Coach should never touch a player. And if you're gonna discipline, do it in the locker room.
Well, like they say, you wouldn't want to confront a grown man and handle him in a way that you would want somebody to confront you.
Right.
The coach can't put his hands on a player because the player generally won't put a hands on his coach. Because if that was the case, it'd be a whole nother situation. So I just think you got to lead in a better way. In that moment, I get it. I know I would lose my mind if a player did that and I was a head coach, but I don't think I'd rush over to him. I'd step away knowing how I felt in the moment.
You know what's crazy about that game? We talk about the DeMarcado play, but the play that constantly gets like overseen is the Dadrian Taylor Demerson play.
Oh.
The Arizona Cardinals intercept Cam Ward. The game's over. Fall down. Run the clock out. It's it. The game's done.
Yep.
He tries to get up, fumbles the ball, then his own player kicks it into the end zone, and the Titans recover an interception for a touchdown. The things that happened in that football game made me feel like I was watching like The Replacements, or I was watching like Any Given Sunday. Like, I just felt like I was watching a movie. Like, how does the longest yard, they're down 35-0 at the half, and they find a way to score 36 straight points. Like, that's the way I felt when I was watching that game. It was borderline insanity.
When I was watching that game.
Jonathan Gannon cannot put his hands on DeMarcado. I'll give you an example, right? If Dan Campbell put his hands on like Jahmyr Gibbs, I feel like Dan Campbell will be able to handle himself in that situation. Or Mike Rabel put his hands on like a running back, or Antonio Gibson. I feel like Rabel would be able to handle himself. Jonathan Gannon would get his absolute ass beat by any one of those players. Don't put your hands on somebody. Don't ask for smoke you don't want.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That game remind me of 37U. That's exactly what the end of that game remind me of. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those videos, but if you've ever seen those videos, that ending was 37U football. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was maybe one of the craziest games that you'll ever watch, right? Like, you've seen bigger comebacks. You've seen, maybe more crazier comebacks, but I promise you have not seen a sequence of events like how that game broke down between the dropped touchdown, the interception that got recovered in the end zone by Tyler Lockett. Cam Ward makes some big time throws, even though he did have the interception, but he also flashed that arm talent as to why he's the number one pick. So,
oh yeah,
just absolute madness. And I feel like, as a football fan, honestly, that game just felt like football. That's what it's all about, man. Just give me a crazy game like that every week, and we're all good.
I love Cam Ward, though. I love Cam Ward just for the fact that he went on national in front of the press, said his team was ass. Yeah, I can respect that part. I can respect that from him.
If you're the Cards, tear up the film. You don't even watch the film.
Nope.
You just tear it up. There's nothing to talk about. Everybody knows what it was. No film. Just move on and get ready for the next week's opponent.
Talk about a sign of a bad team. I want to bring you back to last year, and they made mention of this last night, and they kind of stole my thunder. But I want you to go back to Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders. And I want you to go back to the Hail Mary game where they convert the Hail Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Tyreek Stevenson is yelling at the crowd.
Yep.
And look at the difference in those two teams the rest of that year. The Bears didn't win another game. Commanders lost like one or two more games the rest of the year. Games like that can turn around seasons. Now Arizona, who was basically on route to be a winning football team, they were playing really good football. They would have been 3-2. Now they have 3 straight losses by 1 point, by 3 points, by 1 point. And then they got to travel to Indianapolis. Then they got to play the Packers. Then they got to go to Dallas, Seattle, San Fran, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, the Rams. Find a win.
You can't.
Their season completely turned around.
It's done.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But
if I know anything, they'll give my Packers a scare for some reason. But I know the Packers love playing down to opponents they should handle pretty easily. So I'm ready for that to be like a 1-score game.
By the way, I didn't expect all the people. There was so many national media people that were, because when I was complaining about the officials in the Philadelphia Eagles game, I was complaining, thinking I'd be an Eagles fan complaining. The amount of national attention complaining about the officials in the Philadelphia Eagles Denver Broncos game, it's wild. I invite anybody that still has not watched the end of that game to watch the 4 plays that, in my opinion, changed the game. The bogus illegal shift in which the receiver was asking the referee if he was lined up on the line of scrimmage. Like they do every play, they point. The non-call on after they threw the flag to call it on the intentional grounding, they picked it up. The non-call on Dallas Goedert being absolutely abused down the sideline, and the Zach Bond late hit. Those are 4. If one of those 4 plays is called correctly, I think the Philadelphia Eagles win that football game. But I didn't realize how much Troy Aikman, I hate the Eagles, but that game he didn't even call in the game. Emmanuel Acho, a lot of guys were on, a lot of NFL players, a lot of analysts were talking about that football game. Nick Sirianni, got to give him credit. He was one of the only people to go, listen, calls go, some go your way, some don't go your way. Didn't trash the officials. You can't get anything out of it now. So you have to have understanding of what that situation is going forward.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought that was interesting.
Wasn't a great called game. That's putting it lightly. Just a lot of questionable referee work this past weekend too. Between that game, between the missed pass interference call in the Chiefs game, just pretty crazy weekend for the officials. One guy though, there's one guy in Denver I do want to give credit to. Nick Benito, he might have the best contract in the league. He is just insane. He's got to be up there at this point, right? Just signed a contract worth like $28 million a year, I think it was, or like 30
Jesus.
this past off season, and that's looking like it's going to be a steal.
He's incredible. He was unblockable.
I still think they're going to win the AFC West. I could be wrong,
Right.
but I think
Right.
it's Denver's to lose, in my opinion.
It's all up in the air. I'd say the Chiefs looking mortal. The Chargers are, after starting out hot, they're kind of getting streaky here, so it'll be interesting. But hey, that being said, that's all I really had for us. Anything you guys want to add before we get up on out of here?
No, I'm
No
good. Love chopping it up with you guys. Tomorrow's Wednesday's day, so we'll get into it tomorrow. But other than that, look, I appreciate all the energy coming from the chat. Everybody that's joining us from whatever platform, hey, go over to the Wire to Wire Facebook page. Follow us. Our continued growth is because of your continued support. Appreciate you guys.
I don't know what London is done to get such poor football, but they're going to get the 0-5 Jets this week in Tottenham.
Poor London.
Poor Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, fair enough. And obviously tonight on Meaty Boys, we'll be talking some Perth, Australia.
Oh, you thought I forgot about you, Gardy.
Oh, you two about to
I
have
ain't
a
forget
debate.
about you,
I
Gardy.
didn't forget it.
Oh.
I ain't forget about you. I'm gonna be on tonight because I got to get you. Oh, I got to get you for. Ooh,
And you can
I'll be
hear
there.
Will and I debate tag team wrestling.
Oh, I'm
What's the
gonna get you.
topic?
Oh, you up here talking about oh,
Oh, I
even
know where
worry.
you're going.
Make
oh,
sure
you
tune
know where
in
I'm
tonight.
going, Mo.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even worry about it. Make sure y'all tune in tonight. We're going to debate some tag team wrestling, a very controversial tag team in the Young Bucks. We're going to be talking some Perth, Australia this weekend. So make sure you tune in for that. That being said, we thank you for tuning in, and I hope to catch y'all later. If not, have a great day.